Hello everyone, we're heading to Doomben in Brisbane on Saturday for Group 1 racing. We had the 10,000 last week on a rain-affected track, but I'm pleased to report the weather in Brisbane over the past week has been fine and sunny, so we're looking for an almost perfect track at Doomben for the Doomben Cup this coming Saturday. One of the highlights is the Roses. It's a Group 2 for the 3-year-old fillies, over 2,000 metres. A lot of horses lining up here will be headed towards the Oaks at Eagle Farm in a few weeks' time. Right now I'm tossing up between number 6 Filia, who hasn't raced for around about a month since she won the Princess Stakes, and the other one is Churchill's Choice, who also hasn't raced for a few weeks but put in a great performance last time out against the boys when running second. I'm with Filia. She's a lovely filly. She's trained by David Van Dyke here in Queensland, and David knows what it takes to win an Oaks. He won it a few years ago with Gypsy Goddess, and he's got the right horse here. The difference between Filia and Churchill's Choice is that Filia's drawn nicely and she'll either lead or settle in the first three. The other filly, Churchill's Choice, has got an awkward barrier. She might have to do it the tough way. So I think one of these will take out the Roses. One of my good roughies is number 12, Dane Commander. She's capable of racing up on the pace, and the good draw helps her get a nice trip. So in the Roses, I'm looking at numbers 6, 4, 1 and 12, thinking that Filia or Churchill's Choice can take out the race. The 4X Doomben Cup is the highlight of racing around Australia on Saturday. It's hosted by the Brisbane Racing Club at Doomben Racecourse, where the weather is expected to be fine and the track should be in terrific order. Just a little bit of give in the ground. We've got an excellent open field lining up here, although it seems as though there are two parties. There are those that are with Antino, a last start winner of the main lead-up to the Doomben Cup. That was the Hollandale Stakes at the Gold Coast. And Pride of Jenny. This is the mare that gets out with big leads, and she's very, very hard to catch. Now, she's coming off an okay win last time. It was the Pride of Jenny of old, where she was able to roll along in front. She's meeting much better competition, but at her best, she is capable of winning this and winning it very easily. And around Doomben, a tight turning track, circumference around about 1,800 metres, she's certainly going to be very hard to run down. So they're the two that most punters are looking at right now. Now, I'm looking at a horse like Faulkner Park, who ran a great race in this event 12 months ago. He's had a few runs back from a spell. He ran a good second behind Antino in the Hollandale on a wet track. I don't think he was suited by the wet track, and he was ridden out of his comfort zone. They got on their bike early, and he was there to be gunned down at the top of the straight, and he was. Antino raced away from him. But this is a different story altogether. And I think not worrying about the opposition, just riding his own race, I think Ethan Brown can bring Faulkner Park home with a strong run in the straight. Pride of Jenny is going to lead for a long, long way here. She's going to be hard to catch. Looking at Antino to be sustaining a long run and running on down the outside. And the other one for QP, Quinella Place Takers, is one at a bit of a price here in 7 Kovalika. But I'm looking at Faulkner Park to take out the Group 1 on Saturday in Brisbane, the Doomben Cup. Now on to the World Pool BRC Sprint, a Group 3 over 1,350 metres. And this is a very important race because the winner becomes exempt from ballot and wins its way into the Stradbroke Handicap at Eagle Farm in a few weeks' time. It's a terrific race, a very even contest. It's great to have the Hayes boys here from Victoria. They were here and they won this race 12 months ago with a horse called Here to Shock. And they've got two live chances this year in Rise at Dawn, and the other one is War Machine. They're horses that will put themselves up on the pace in the first half dozen or so, and there's no doubt they're going to be hard to hold out. However, I'm going to go with number 12, a 3-year-old called Coleman. This fellow is trained by Chris Waller and to be ridden by James McDonald. He's only had one start for Chris Waller. They've been teaching him to settle, and he just got too far back when he was first up in the Victory Stakes. He gave them 10, 12 lengths head start. He got to the outside and I thought ran on okay. I think this, with that run under the belt, is a much more suitable race over the 1350 metres, ridden a nice patient race by James McDonald. I think the Hayes boys have got two great chances. I think War Machine and Rise at Dawn are very hard to beat as well, and their must includes in the Quinella Place. And Sofrado is my best roughie here, number 8. But I'm with the 3-year-old Coleman to take out the BRC Sprint in Brisbane on Saturday.